Well, hello. Welcome to the Coherent Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Jemima House, returning after a little break. So today I wanted to talk to you about one of the major concepts of my work, and that is that people who want to make a positive difference in the world and who choose to do so through their ethical business do not realise the impact that the old pyramid structure of business is having on their efficacy. It's making things harder than they have to be. This feels like such an important piece to put across because ethical founders often work in isolation and think maybe that things feel challenging because of their values, because they're trying to make a positive impact, because they are here to make a difference and do their soul work, which may well be true. And when you look at the structure of business and you look at the hierarchical way that it's organised with the founder at the apex and then these lines of communication that come down all the way to the bottom of the labour force, suddenly you get to see how clearly this came from the military-industrial complex and how not many people have ever questioned it. And of those that have, some have decided to rebuild their own new structure, and some have completely failed because they have been still placing the pyramid inside of their new structure, like almost getting it right but not quite, so still retaining the hierarchical system and yet making it a different shape. I'm really passionate about the new concept, the new framework, the new structure I've designed, which is a circular structure. And if we look at historically, any kind of circle work is led by females, it's led by women. And I feel like this is really, really key to where we're going here. And I'm not massively vocal about feminism or about women rising up and about patriarchy, but they really do deserve a place in this conversation. We do need to have a look and inspect how those models of the world have impacted how we've progressed or not progressed. I coined the phrase circular feminine leadership about 4 or 5 years ago because it felt really apt. And that wasn't to do with this business. This business was not even a twinkle in my eye at that point. But it was as a result of spending a lot of time in the presence of other powerful women who were all on soul missions, who all understood their dharma, who were really clear about, yep, this is what I'm here to do. This is why I've been given this life, put on this planet for these limited years. And in the circle, we are all sovereign. In the circle, we are all leaders. And we each have our own specific set of capabilities and skills that are different, but just as worthy. My mum always used to say, when we were splitting like sweets or something, she had this phrase, and she said that fair doesn't always mean equal. And it took me so many years to understand that phrase. And I think I get it now. And what I'm describing is not the traditional co-op model of business. You know, not everyone can be the leader because that would just be anarchy, absolute chaos. And as well, we cannot continue with the pyramid-shaped hierarchy because very much like capitalism, it will end up burning itself out. So what is the answer? Well, the answer is the circular model where people's positions are locked in according to their capabilities, not according to their job title. Now, I'm sure that as I'm saying this, each of you listening can think of an example almost immediately of somebody who is in a position who just really shouldn't be. They just cannot do that job well. But because of their seniority or because of their years of service, they have that position, but they don't necessarily have the capabilities that are required for somebody to get that particular job done well. When you are trained on the basic capabilities of being a human being who can communicate really well and listen really well, it gives you a much broader scope for what you're qualified to do. And I use that word because often qualified is associated with doing a particular training course or having a particular certificate. And that's not what I mean. When I say qualified, I mean that you have evidence that you can achieve that thing and that you can do it really well. And most of the time, that is based on how accurately, how clearly, how kindly you can communicate and connect with other human beings. How many business nightmares actually stem from bad communication? It's such a good question because the answer to it just leads you straight back to, well, if somebody is in a position that they are not really fit to be in, that's going to cause problems. And if everybody had a very basic training on the human side of things, including their values, their connection capabilities, their communication, then wouldn't life be so much easier? Wouldn't then less energy need to be allocated towards things that are colloquially known as HR dramas, and that energy instead being put towards the values of the company and being a sustainable force for good? I'm excited about this, and I am excited to gather my fellow ethical founders who are also excited about this, so that we can help each other and collaborate. And that is also something that is really key to circular feminine leadership. It's the idea of collaboration instead of competition. So much more powerful. Anyway, that's it from me today, and thank you for listening. Please do share this podcast if you feel like there's somebody who would enjoy it. And I will be back again next week.